Tonight, a major change in leadership at a Northern Colorado mental health facility. Weeks after our investigation that led to multiple state and federal investigations at Clearview Behavioral Health. Those investigations are over claims of mismanagement, insurance fraud. Chief investigative reporter Tony Kovaleski is back tonight with new information. And Tony, sounds like pressure is mounting.
Many current and former employees said he was the man responsible for the critical decisions. For weeks, we have tried to get CEO Rick Harding to answer those accusations. Tonight, we now know he's out of a job.
He doesn't treat his employees well.
It was a message we heard from many.
He doesn't treat the patients there well.
Accusations shared by several former and current employees, including one brave enough to risk her job to send that message.
Look into that camera and talk to the CEO and tell him what he needs to hear.
I think the CEO of Clearview needs to hear that, these are real people.
All telling us they tried to convince upper management the culture needed to change. Patient care needed to become a priority.
They're important and they matter. They're not just a dollar sign, okay? They come to us for help and we're not helping them.
Denver 7 has confirmed CEO Rick Harding is no longer in the top spot at Clearview. Insiders telling us he was walked out of the facility. A statement from the parent company confirmed there is a new chief executive officer in place at the Johnstown Mental Health Hospital. It included Rick Harding resigned.
How would you describe Clearview? Is it an ethical establishment?
No, it is not ethical. I think if it were an ethical place, this story wouldn't be happening.
The CEO's departure follows 2 months of critical reporting by Denver 7. Dozens of patients, family members, along with current and former employees questioning the facility's quality of care. Decisions by senior leadership to keep patients longer than medically necessary, and multiple accusations of improper insurance billing. It all comes in the middle of ongoing investigations by Colorado's Attorney General, the state departments of public health and behavioral health, along with federal investigations by Medicare and Medicaid. Many of the accusations were directed at the now former CEO.
He's the one that's always like, hey, no, we need to keep them here longer.
An inside source provided us this email, authored by then CEO Rick Harding, apparently pressuring leadership to delay patient discharges. It included, we need to stop having 2 heavy discharge days in a row.
What does that email say to you?
It says that he wants to keep people there longer so that he can get more money.
We tried several times to give the chief executive officer a chance to answer the accusations.
Hey, can you guys kindly leave the property, please?
How are you? I'm Tony Kovaleski with Contact7 Investigates. Do you have a moment?
The first time, he sent out his administrative assistant.
Well, I'm asking you to please leave the property.
Okay.
If you don't, we're going to have to call the police, okay?
And a couple weeks later, he again avoided an opportunity to answer our questions, this time sending out the director of nursing.
We've talked to several current and former employees. They paint a picture of what happens behind that door. That's not a very pretty picture.
Well, I think we probably would prefer if you'd leave the building.
Well, Harding never answered our questions. His former employees had plenty to say about his role and his priorities.
I truly don't respect a man that doesn't treat people well, that preaches that he's done this job before, that he was a nurse, that he cares when all he cares about is his paycheck.
The change at the top follows a series of senior leadership departures since our reporting began back in January. Sources telling us the chief financial officer, chief operating officer, and at least 3 other senior managers have left Clearview in the last 2 months. Shannon, Ann?